You're listening to the Geekly Chronicles.
Thank you for listening back to the Geekly Chronicles.
This episode was recorded on the 19th of May 2017.
This version of the show is the same Geekly you know and love, minus all of the bits where we played music.
Since, we like artists to get paid fairly for their work.
If you want to hear this show as you would have heard it live, songs and all, check out our Mixcloud channel at mixcloud.com/GKLYCO.
Enjoy the show.
Hello.
Hi.
Wow, welcome to the new series of the Geekly Chronicles.
It's been 152,640 minutes since we were last on air.
What's that, about 3 months?
3 months and 7 days.
That's about a quarter of a year then.
Yeah, more or less. So what's been happening since we were off the air?
Well, Trump continues to be in office, and miraculously, we aren't all dead yet.
And perhaps even more miraculously, nor is he.
Zing.
Zing. Wow.
Yeah, zing. I said it.
We've had a new series of Doctor Who on our screens.
Yeah, that's true.
I got goosebumps over the trailer for the new Star Trek Discovery series.
Goosebumps?
Yep, that's how I know that it's real Star Trek.
Okay.
What else has been happening in the last 3 months? Seriously, are we all so nerdy that all we can think of is sci-fi on TV?
Well, there is the small matter of the general election.
It looks like you were about to mention politics.
We've got someone new to do that for us. But we'll talk to him later in the show. In the meantime, though, try and steer clear of the GE thing.
General Electric?
Gay elephants.
No, the General... Whew, gee, thanks.
I am going to be pressing that button so many times
Fun
tonight.
with that. Oh dear, oh dear.
Oh, well, moving on. We've got a packed show for you tonight. It'll be like filling your ears with sweet, sweet chocolate.
How does that work exactly?
Deliciously, but kind of messily.
Yeah. Anyway, moving swiftly on from that, we've got all your usual music requests and banter from Twitter, Facebook, and the chat room. And I don't say banter lightly.
We've got a charity.
I'm expecting top bants tonight, people.
Ooh. We've got a charity bike-off happening here in the studio, where we're pitting two cyclists against each other during the show to raise money for our chosen charity of the series. More on that after our first song.
Very excitingly, we'll be joined later in the show by very special guest Hyndon Walsh, a.k.a. Princess Bubblegum, who's currently on the road hitting a bunch of conventions in Europe and beyond. How awesome is that?
Yeah.
I know.
Uh-huh.
And, of course, there's Game of Geeks, Would You Fund It, and all the usual things you've come to expect from this.
The
huge. That you've come to expect from this, our show of geekly goodness.
And you can request a song for us to play too. Just drop into our chat room on the website or tweet us and we'll make it happen.
Or request using the app.
Oh, of course. We have an app now. That is very exciting. Tell us about the app.
How very futuristic of it. How very 2010 of us.
Yes.
Yes, if you have an iPhone, which I'm informed some people on this planet do.
I am the only one of the three presenters, I'll have it known, that has an iPhone.
Yes. You can download the Geekly Chronicles app from the App Store on your iOS device. It's also available on iPad, I should say. And you can listen to the show. You can get in touch, tweet us, call us, email us,
and make song
send
requests.
A request, or vote in Would You Fund It later in the show.
Yes, more about that later.
You're listening to the Geekly Chronicles. It's like Fox News, but with more news and more foxes.
Now,
there's not really much you can follow that way, is there?
No,
not really. Now, today is Endangered Species Day.
Not
for those
only
that you didn't know,
and not only that, but this series of Geekly will end on Elephant Appreciation Day. So we thought, why not sponsor an elephant?
Wait a second. Okay, hang on. We were just talking about Endangered Species Day, and now we've sponsored an actual elephant.
Yeah. Her name is Karuba. She is a
showgirl,
43-year-old Asian elephant, actually, and she is the matriarch of her herd.
Did you know that elephants can munch through 150 kilograms of food every day? That's like eating 150 medium-sized pineapples.
Like, I'm still trying to get my head around the fact that we've adopted an elephant, but that is a lot of pineapples. I'm not sure they actually eat pineapples.
No,
but it's a lot of pineapples.
The equivalent of what they do eat. Yeah.
Well, fair enough.
So speaking of things they do eat, an elephant can pick up a peanut with its trunk, shell it, blow the shell out, and then eat the nut.
That's incredible.
Pretty dexterous.
That is incredible.
I wonder how many times you would have to do that in a day to eat 150 kilograms worth of peanuts.
I'm pretty sure I could knock that out before lunchtime.
Okay.
Yeah, but my disgusting eating habits aside, with this series both starting and ending with a reminder that the world we live in isn't quite the stable and nature-friendly place we'd like it all to be. We were having a bit of a think and a chat during the time we had off, and we were really thinking about what else we could do to make a difference.
And with that in mind, we're excited to be launching a series-long fundraising extravaganza in aid of the WWF.
Yeah. We will be doing lots of things throughout the series to try and get you to donate and make an impact to the amazing work that this charity does, and we're about to introduce you to tonight's epic installment.
At any point this series, you can donate via our Just Giving page at gkly.co/WWF.
Or if you're in the UK, you can text GKLY60, followed by an amount to 770. That's 70070.
Text cost your donation plus one message at your standard network rate, and every penny of your donation will go to the WWF.
I do love a good term and or condition.
Yes, well, that's life, I suppose. But moving on to tonight's fundraising challenge, as well as being all about endangered species, May is also Bike Month, and never shy of doing something visual for radio, we've invited a couple of cyclists into the studio to pedal furiously for the duration of the show.
Yes, I do think that doing these things that are highly visual are really good for the medium of radio.
Very much our brand, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm sure we'll be tweeting and Instagramming some pictures in a little bit and putting them up on our Facebook page. But for now, we have equipped them with radio mics. They're cycling away furiously in the Geekly gym just below us. So let's go and meet them now. Bringing up their mics. Hello, Alex and Matty.
Hello.
Are either of you out of breath yet?
Both of us. Yeah.
Excellent.
Great.
That's what we like to hear.
Yeah, I might need to pace it a little bit, I'm thinking.
Yeah, that's only 11 minutes out of
Out of the game.
120.
Yes.
Yeah.
You've got a long way to go.
Yeah. Just, yeah.
So, I mean, the question that I'm most interested in, how far have you cycled already in the 11 minutes we've been on air?
Matty will go first. Will I? Okay. 6.6 kilometers is what my bike's telling me.
Wow, that's
Nice.
impressive.
Okay, wow.
Slow down, please. This is going to get a bit intense. Your heart rate will be a little high.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Alex, how about you?
Oh, only 5.2.
Oh.
See, I'm pacing it. I'm going for the long game.
Yeah, pacing yourself there.
Well, what we want to know, of course, listeners, is who you think is going to win this evening's cycle-a-thon. Who's going to cycle the furthest?
Yes, so I mean, you can donate to our cause, but please, we'll check in with Alex and with Matty throughout the show, and we'll see how they're doing. But interesting, if you want to try and a little blind date style, work out exactly what kind of cycling you guys do. So, Alex, do you cycle a lot?
And where'd you come
Yeah, do you cycle a lot, Alex?
Yeah. Probably more than I should.
So you're a delivery driver for a popular food delivery company, correct?
That's the one. Inspired by kangaroos.
Yes. And so I guess you must cycle a fair bit. And what kind of cycling is that mostly?
It's mostly road cycling.
Right. Okay. So this kind of longer haul cycling is fairly familiar to you then.
Ooh. Now I have to go further though, don't I?
Well, that is true. Already, if you were delivering to a house 5 kilometres away, that's probably well out of the radius of the delivery company.
Exactly.
Matty, what kind of cycling do you normally do?
Mainly kind of for fun, mountain biking.
Right, so
Yeah.
not quite the same level of road cycling experience as Alex.
No.
Wow. So how are you feeling about this challenge?
Quite sweaty at the moment.
Lovely.
Excellent.
Thanks.
you
We're
for
very
that.
glad now that this is radio and not television.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you just see very pained, sweaty faces.
I
on
mean,
the
it could be
bike.
worse. It could be smell-o-vision.
Oh, it could be.
Ooh.
No, yes. Well, we will be popping down and taking some photos at some point for Twitter, so we will have to brave the Geekly gym.
Oh, dear.
We may open some doors
Yes.
and windows first.
Fortunately, unlike the studio, down there has windows open, so...
Yes, and our windows are not telling us that we need to pay ransomware to open them, so... Topical humour. Topical humour.
We've got 13 minutes in and we've got the bad pun out of the way already. That was always going to be one.
Matty, tell me, what's the furthest you've ever cycled? Do you know?
I think around 60 kilometres.
Oh, you'll be fine then.
You got this.
You just need to pace yourself a bit more.
That was over an entire day, though.
2
yeah,
hours,
so-
you'll be fine.
A day, 2 hours, what's it?
Yeah, what's the? Sometimes this show feels like a day.
Sometimes I'm only awake for 2 hours of a day. So.
And Alex, what about you?
No idea. Maybe 20?
Oh, okay.
Well,
here
you know,
we go.
Well, if you
there's a record to beat.
if you both make it past 26, then that's a marathon of cycling.
That's doable. Yep.
Is that a thing?
Hopefully.
I've got no idea if that's a thing. I'm me sat here, the
I
sports
wonder-
expert.
I wonder how far they make them cycle in a triathlon.
See, we should
good
look at
question,
this.
yes.
We should look this
You
up.
look that up. I'm going to look up how long you have to cycle for the Tour de France.
I know, it's
That's
kind
more
of,
like a couple of 100 kilometres.
Yeah,
a day or
it's-
something, isn't it?
it's kind of
it's-
because at the moment it's kind of us talking in the studio, and all you can hear when these mics are up are just two people in the background going.
The heavy breathing.
Yeah.
According to Wikipedia, which, as we know, is everyone's oracle of truth, the modern editions of the Tour de France consist of 21 day-long segments over a 23-day period. So over 23 days, there's 21 days of actual cycling and 2 days of rest.
Yeah.
And over that entire time, you cover about 3,500 kilometres, which is
All right.
roughly 167 a day.
So that's roughly what we expect you to do in 2 hours. Then.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah,
3,000. see you
That's
later.
what we're hoping for. But
Okay.
yes, if you people at home want to cheer them on, as we said, we would love for you to donate through our Just Giving page that we've given you the details for. We'll be tweeting links to that as well.
Yep. And if we raise some actual money, we might even give them a break halfway through the show.
Can you imagine?
But interestingly, and as a reward for both of you, it is also today Pizza Party Day, and so immediately following the show, we will be having a Geekly Pizza Party
Hey.
for our cyclists to make up for some of those calories you're losing currently. Well, we'll leave you both to it. Thanks for joining us and panting heavily for now. Good luck.
We'll speak to you soon.
We will.
And that link again is gkly.co/WWF if you wish to cheer them on. And let us know. You can leave a message with your donation. Let us know who you're cheering on in that.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you join our chat room as well, you can do that by going to the website. They can see the chat room down there. So please leave them messages of support, and hopefully they will help you. They will help the cyclists anyway.
They're scrolling by in front of them. So I mean, if it's messages of jeering as well, then they are going to see it.
Well, now
There's not a lot they can do.
now, believe it or not, it is time for our familiar foray into fictional funding.
Nicely
We don't want your
alliterated.
money, but if we did, we'd spend it on stuff like this. It's would you fund it?
Now, for the past 2 series, you've heard us pitch crazy crowdfunding ideas to each other and have you, the listeners, vote on them. We've done everything from like a Big Brother style political house for people investing money in dodgy tax schemes through to a doorbell that judged Halloween costumes for you and automatically dispensed tricks or treats. But we're doing something a bit different this series and handing the reins over to you.
As scary as that sounds. During Series 6, we're going to be taking your ideas and turning them into pitches for listeners to vote on. So this episode, we've got a pitch from a listener called Josh.
This one was seriously fun to make.
Fun. Really. You did scream quite a lot while we were recording this.
Oh, yeah.
So without further delay, we would like to present for your voting minds.
Wow, you should campaign for election.
I should write, shouldn't I? Great.
Imagine that.
Yes. We would like to present for you Cleany Crawlies. Give this a listen.
Holy mother of pus! Guess there's spiders all over your bathroom.
Oh, those aren't spiders.
I know a spider when I see one. My heart stops and I want to run to the other end of the planet.
Planets don't have ends.
And bathrooms shouldn't have spiders.
Well, mine doesn't. They're my new Cleany Crawlies.
Cleany, what now?
Are you tired of cleaning?
Where's that voice coming from?
Do you wish you had a robot vacuum cleaner, but that it would also do the walls, doors, and appliances?
Seriously, these adverts follow me everywhere.
New from Spidulike, it's the Cleany Crawly. Sit back and relax while spider-like robots clean your home.
Sounds terrifying.
Our patented spider bots are fully programmable and internet connected, so you can issue them with instructions on the go. Those surprise visits from the mother-in-law will never catch you with a dirty floor again.
I don't have a mother-in-law.
Cleany Crawlies take care of stubborn wall stains, keep the cobwebs off your ceiling, and shine up your taps like they've never shone before.
I'm still not sure I want robot spiders surprising me around my...
Our latest models can also detect real-life spiders and chase them out of your home safely. They have a built-in camera so you can see the spiders being evicted by their robot cousins, and even share the footage with friends on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter.
Ooh, where's my credit card? I think I'll have 5.
The Cleany Crawly. Buy online now.
Seriously, get out my house.
No!
Oh, laughing at our own jokes. We're
Yes,
so cool.
aren't we just? Well, I mean, you seemed pretty convinced by that, Catherine.
I think so, yeah. I think I was sold, but the question remains, would you, our listeners, actually fund that?
Vote now at gkly.co/fundit.
You can also vote via our Twitter account at GKLYCO, where we will shortly be tweeting a poll. And, of course, as we mentioned earlier, you can vote using our shiny new app for iOS.
Yep, I love that app. It's awesome. It even has emoji in it.
It does.
Yep.
All
Now,
the best apps have emoji in them.
Now, as we mentioned, that idea for Would You Fund It was submitted by a regular listener, Josh. Now, if you would like to submit your own idea for Would You Fund It, so you give us the idea, we will bring it to life in a little sketch and have our listeners vote on it over the series. You can either pop it in the chat room now, or pop your idea in and we'll make a note of it. Or if you want to keep it a bit more on the DL, you don't want everyone to know that you submitted it, you can tell us via the Would You Fund It page on the website.
Now, let's head back down to our cyclists. How are you doing down there?
Surviving.
I can hear heavy breathing again. Are you guys okay?
Yeah, we're fine.
Are you sure?
Just about. Yep.
If you're a regular listener, you'll know it's time for the Geekly Chronicles. If you're an irregular listener, you need to eat more fibre.
You nailed that one, didn't you?
It's great. Yes. There's been lots happening, hasn't there, while we've been off the air?
I know.
Yeah.
Loads of things, really, when you think about it.
Yeah, lots
3
of
months.
big things. But I went digging around looking for some, smaller things, which are
As you do.
Digging around, truffling in the forest of news.
Yes.
And
Oh, dear.
did you hear about this barber who styles his client's hair with fire?
No, I did see a video on Twitter the other day of somebody attempting to cut someone's hair using an axe and a mallet, which I can't recommend.
That does not
Did they
sound-
survive?
They did, but I really, really worried about the reasons behind doing that. It was a bit scary.
Yeah.
But
Tell me about the hair fire.
I mean, when I was
Hair
at
fire.
uni, we used to straighten our hair with the iron, but that's
Excellent.
about as unconventional as I've ever got.
what did you sandwich it in between two tea towels or something, or literally just iron your hair?
You literally just iron your hair. Like you kneel down next to the ironing board, lay your hair on the iron, lay your hair on the ironing board, put the iron on it, and then just pull your head away.
Is that not massively dangerous?
Probably.
Yeah,
But none of us could afford GHDs, so.
But surely even cheap straighteners are better than an iron.
Oh no, the iron does an absolutely beautiful job. It's
So is that what people used to straighten their hair before hair straighteners existed?
yeah,
then?
yeah. I think so.
Love the difference that Kez is outraged and I'm taking notes. It's
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm amazed. You don't have hair long enough to straighten now.
No,
but
not now.
at the
but
time.
I did have very long hair at the
Right.
time. Yeah.
yes, brilliant.
So this is a barber in Cairo called Mohammed Hanafi, and his clients visit him so that he can set their hair on fire. He uses a blowtorch and hair products to, try and straighten his client's hair. It seems to work, apparently. He claims that his hot hair treatment allows clients' hair to stay straight longer than with traditional methods. He also says that the fire helps preserve colour, prevents split ends, and removes dandruff.
Removes dandruff.
Yeah.
I mean,
So it's
one way to do it, isn't it?
get a bottle of Head and Shoulders or fire. It seems like
I
a
know which
very
option I'm liking more.
It's a very extreme spectrum, surely.
Apparently, he has had a hard time persuading clients to let him light up their hair.
Light
Which
it up.
I'm not surprised, really.
Yeah.
Really, seriously, don't try this at home. Don't even try the ironing thing.
I don't understand. Why would you do this?
Yeah, no, I don't know. I mean,
I don't-
Where's this thing? Why is it a thing?
so I don't know. I mean, the video that I can see, so I've got an article open here, and I can see a video on my screen, and it actually looks like he's just burning someone's hair off.
We've had
Yeah.
we've had a winner for pun of the year already in the chat room.
Oh dear.
Kiev Pizza Biscuit, most creative name I think we've
Mm-hmm.
seen in the chat room in a while, says head in the Smoulders.
Hey.
Hey, that's amazing.
That's an episode title, right? If ever there was one. Brilliant. Thanks, Elaine.
I went to a barber once that does the cutthroat shaving and everything. That was very scary in itself. Very scary. Fire, I feel, would be more intense. Why? Have you? I mean, here's an appeal to our listeners. If you're listening live or listening back, have you ever had your hair cut by fire? And if so, please will you write in and tell us what that experience was like, assuming your burns are not so bad that you cannot write anymore. Or type.
Yeah, seriously, please don't try this at home.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I can picture people listening to this and thinking it's a great idea. No.
Yeah, no, please don't.
No.
Ugh.
There'll be
I mean,
letters, I'm
for
sure.
starters, a lot of hair products are highly flammable, like hairspray and things.
God,
you know.
imagine if you put like hair wax or hairspray on there, it would go for hours.
Yes.
I mean, hair wax is like paraffin, right? It will just keep burning.
Yeah. In the chat room, Amy says that this is a hot-headed idea.
With the whole
It
new meaning
is.
to,
Yeah.
head torch.
Ah, see, I see. This is just turning into a
Yikes.
pun
Yes,
excuse now.
pun
What else
run,
has been
right.
going on?
Give us more news.
Yeah, what else can we talk about?
So apparently we were warned, but we didn't
Were we?
listen. An avocado hand is a real thing.
Avocado ham.
No, avocado ham? No, that's not what I said.
Oh,
But,
well.
That's would you fund it? Right there.
Avocado ham. Honestly,
heard it
if
here
that's
first.
someone's would you fund it idea.
Yeah. No. I
So
can't
what's
get on board with that,
avocado
but yeah.
hand?
yes,
is
that's what I
this
said.
hand shaped avocado? I'm guessing.
No, this is when somebody holds an avocado in their hand, and they want to prepare it, obviously, to eat it. So
Yeah.
you need to get inside that
Yeah.
hard outer skin. So you go to slice it with a knife, but you don't realize quite how ripe it is inside. So you end up slicing through your hand.
Question: Why were they not doing this on a chopping board?
I have no idea.
I always cut my avocado on a chopping board.
Well,
That's
apparently
how it's
some
supposed
people,
to be done, it would seem.
including Meryl Streep, she's done it apparently. Apparently some people just hold them in their hand and try and cut them.
Oh, so this is like
And it's like
tennis
a
elbow.
big
Then
thing.
it's so avocado hand is like
Avocado hand, tennis elbow.
Yeah, except
Blimey.
you don't just get avocado hand from eating too many avocados. You get it from preparing irresponsibly.
slicing your hand open with it. That's incredible. Is this a real thing that doctors are reporting?
Yeah.
In Highgate, I'm assuming.
So there's a guy called Simon Eccles. He's the secretary of the association and former president of the plastic surgery section of the Royal Society of Medicine. What a title. He told The Times that he treats about 4 patients a week with the so-called avocado hand at Chelsea and Westminster Hospital in London.
Chelsea, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be the one.
I like that. in
Probably
this
probably
article-
similar in Windsor.
Yes.
I'd say.
I like in this article they've capitalized the word "4." 4 patients a week.
That is quite incredible. And
That is very nearly 0.6 people a day.
Avocados are what is putting the strain on our NHS. Obviously, it's
Clearly.
Ban the avocado.
you know, they stopped millennials from buying houses. Right, that's in the news. If millennials
Oh,
just
God,
stopped buying avocados, I'm a millennial. If I stopped buying avocados, that's it. I'd be able to afford a house right now.
That's how it works, is it?
And so I suppose if we just stop buying avocados, that's it. NHS saved.
There we go.
I didn't see
Problem
that in
solved.
any manifesto.
You're welcome.
No, although I do realise I have to give myself a.
Yeah. You said a politics word.
I did. Whoops.
Louisa says Iceland sell avocados halved. Problem solved.
Other food retailers are
But
available.
what stops them going brown? I'd be worried that they
Are they not
put
frozen
some...
from Iceland? Don't Iceland only sell frozen food?
They only sell frozen
I
food.
don't think I've ever actually been into an Iceland. Is that bad?
They sell like branded packaged stuff as well.
But-
But it's mostly frozen.
Ah.
I think.
I thought
The
that was
last time
kind
I
of the
went in
point
one.
of the name, right? Unless it was just a shop from Iceland.
No.
One hospital, St Thomas, staff say they record a post-brunch surge on Saturdays.
Wow.
Oh, that's
The
quite
phenomenon is real.
A post-brunch surge in avocado-related injury.
Wow, this is
I mean,
special.
it really is quite strange.
The Geekly Chronicles.
Yes, well,
Well, coming up now, we have an entirely new Geekly feature.
Gosh, we do indeed. As you may have noticed, politics seems to come up on Geekly rather often.
I won't
so
press the
much
buzzer.
so much so we've got a buzzer now. Sometimes that can be a bit of a downer.
So we thought we might actually contain politics in its own segment of the show with a positive political ambassador to guide us across the choppy political waters of the next few. I'm using much mixed metaphors here.
Yes.
The choppy political waters. I suppose it would be a political admiral if we were being guided across choppy waters.
Maybe. Who knows? So without further ado, we would like to introduce you to our very own kid politician.
A politician that's a kid, is that allowed?
No, not really. I think you've got to be 18 to do that.
Right.
So we're actually telling a bit of a porky there.
Well, I mean, we've called him kid politician, but when it comes to politics, isn't everyone telling porkies anyway?
On with the feature.
Yes, let's hear from our brilliant new friend for the very first time. He'll be with us every episode this series. Over to you, kid politician.
Hi, I'm Kid Politician. I'm new here, but I hope you come to think of me as someone you kinda sorta like. Every show I'll be taking a look at the world of politics and giving you my view. I mean, sure, I'm a kid, but aren't all politicians? This week I want to take a look at what's happening in the world in general, kinda like a State of the Union, since the Union is in such a state and all that. First up, some good news. Did you know that wolves have returned to Denmark for the first time in 200 years? That's awesome when you think about it. People are doing nice things too. When an art studio in America run by people with mental health conditions got its funding cut, it was able to stay open because people were nice enough to donate money. Even in Nigeria, they just saved a bunch of gorillas from a superhighway being built. The Vogons could learn a thing or two from them. But this new president guy, we should totally impeach him. Hey, here's a joke. What's the difference between Donald Trump and a Satsuma? Nothing. They're both a little orange. There's a bunch of bad stuff happening in the world. We're going to talk about things like the UK election, climate change, and how stupid that bathroom bill is. But there's loads of stuff that we can do to make the world better. We can make the new Doctor Who a woman. That would be cool. We could add some new letters to the alphabet to make the keyboards look a bit cooler. Quoting Yui Op is just so boring. Emojis are cool. We can make it a thing. Like you could put them in your name. You could have an emoji middle name. That would be cool. What would your emoji middle name be? Mine would be the Purple Octopus. Don't laugh. So in summary, the world can be a sad place, but there's good stuff in it. Be a happy person and make other people happy too. The world is so connected. Everyone was angry all the time back with the Tudors and the Stuarts and the Victorians, but we have the internet now. We're the Wikipedians. Be nice.
Wow.
Yes.
Thank you, kid politician, for joining us for the very first time. And what a positive message. Be nice.
Yes.
nice
Be
indeed.
nice.
But I want to know what my emoji middle name would be.
Well, what would your if you were going to have an emoji middle name, what would it be?
Well, first of all, I started thinking about the emojis I like, but then I thought, well, most people seem to not like their middle name. So perhaps it would be an emoji that, either I don't really get or, maybe like, some kind of zodiac sign emoji or something that I just be like, oh, what is that?
And what about you? What would your emoji middle name be?
Well, I take the opposite view of Catherine in that if you don't like your middle name, as it turns out, you can just change it. So I'd probably pick an emoji I quite liked, and most of the emoji I quite like are food related.
Yes.
So
I can't say I blame you.
Something carby, maybe?
Something carby. I'm thinking maybe a pizza emoji or a burrito.
Well, I'm just looking through my frequently used emoji on my phone here. I've got a red chili pepper, a pineapple. That'll please those elephants. I have a fist bump. I have the kind of okay symbol. But my most frequently used emoji is the purple heart. So I think I'll go with that. So listeners, if you're in the chat room, whoever you are, wherever you are, please tell us, what would your emoji middle name be? We'd love to hear, and we'll pass it on to Kid Politician and see if we can get his approval.
Yes. Do tweet in as well and let us know.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, before we leave the sphere of politics...
Oh, hang on. Am I going to have to...
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. You're going to be doing this all the way through this. If you're in the UK, you only have a couple of days left to register to vote. It's super easy to do it online in about 3 minutes at gov.uk/register to vote.
Well, and if
Pretty
you're
straightforward.
not in the UK, whatever elections you have coming up, please vote in them. Voting is really important. And if you're not old enough to vote,
Pretend to.
no, don't do that.
That's fraud. That's bad.
Don't listen to us. just encourage other people to vote. Learn about stuff. It's really important. And if you're in Australia, well, it's illegal not to vote, so good on you. But there we go.
Unless I found out the other day, I'm not entirely sure about how this is implemented, but I found out the other day that it is illegal not to vote if you are registered to vote, but registering to vote is not a legal requirement in some parts of Australia.
Okay, so there
which
is a
is
loophole.
confusing.
A bit of a loophole then.
But
well, anyway.
yeah, I'm not sure how that works out with the details, but you should vote, do it.
But
please,
while we think
do it.
about politics, things that have happened recently, so talking about the news and things, you, I believe, have put together a little song for us.
I did indeed. As it turns out, if you leave such a long break between series, A, lots of things start happening, and B, no one's around to tell me not to sing.
It was almost 30% of the year. We really should have kept a lid on that singing thing, shouldn't we?
Yeah, that you should have
Probably.
Should have
probably
taken the
kept an eye
microphones
on
out
that.
of the studio.
Could have been worse. I could have sang.
That's very true.
Go on, give us something now.
Does the
You
radio
know that
need
there
that?
isn't a musical bone in my body.
I'm not
That's
asking you
very
to sing about bones. I'm just asking
The
you
only
to
thing
sing.
I can do is the Tetris theme.
Go on, go on.
Do 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 do.
Hey, okay, okay. You can seriously.
Anyway,
I'm going to turn
yes,
the microphone off.
so
That's
yes,
terrible.
I put together a little tune, briefly going over all of the stuff that's happened in the world since we've been gone.
It's the Geekly Chronicles.
Well, a pizza party, with it being pizza party day. Whoop whoop.
Yep.
Maybe the pizza emoji would be my middle name.
Maybe.
Oh.
Is there like a little bowl of like noodles with chopsticks? That'd be a cool middle name.
That would be quite a cool middle name.
We've had a tweet about an emoji middle name.
I really.
There's another octopus, by the looks of things, or the thumbs
Hey!
up from Ayla, who says that one of those will be her
We've got
emoji
some-
middle name.
We've got some solidarity with Kid Politician from Ayla there.
Indeed.
Awesome. We've had in the chat room, Misty says that the floppy disk symbol, i.e. the save symbol, would be her middle name.
That's a cool one. I
That
like
is a very cool one.
Yeah. Very misty.
Yep. How about let's check in with our cyclists downstairs. How are you doing down there in the hamster wheel of geekliness?
Good.
Still,
Tired.
still a bit out of breath. Tired already?
Well,
Gotta be
I'm
doing
sorry,
it.
but I'd like to see you go cycling for 45 minutes.
No, I'm not going to. That's
and
why
then
you're
not be
here.
tired.
And we're almost halfway in.
Yeah, this is true. You are almost halfway in. Very true. What would your emoji middle names be?
I quite like the standard laughing whilst crying face.
Yeah.
Like, can't go wrong with that.
What about you, Matty?
I don't know. Don't really use emojis much.
Excellent. Well, thanks for that. That's,
You can be the blank square then.
Sure.
That's, yes. Blank square was my nickname in school.
Indeed. Isn't it a Taylor Swift song?
Yes. So how far have you got so far?
Alex? Only 18.5.
18.5 kilometres is that?
Yeah.
Okay, how about you, Matty?
Just under 20.
Wow, so you are pulling ahead there. So it seems that road cyclists do not have the same stamina that off-road BMX cyclists do.
Or one bike is more generous than the other.
One bike is more generous than the other, that's true. Are you on the same resistance settings on those bikes down there?
4.
Oh, I'm on 6.
Oh, that
Right,
explains
that'd be
it.
why.
There we go. Wonderful. Get the feeling maybe you should have checked these things.
Level out on 5 between the two of you. There we go. So we'll see how you continue to do on that.
Hooray for fairness.
Yeah, but don't forget, though, you can support our cyclists by making a donation to the WWF. We're doing this all series via our Just Giving page. They're not cycling all series, incidentally. We're doing lots of different things on different shows.
Yes.
But the whole series, we're raising money for the WWF. Let's make our planet that little bit better. You can support us at gkly.co/WWF. Or if you're in the UK, again, you can send a text message saying GKLY60, then an amount of money to 70070. But please do not say GKLY60 70070 to 70070. Otherwise, that will be a very big donation.
Yes.
I mean, feel free to,
I mean,
but
yeah,
you wouldn't pay
yeah.
it.
We'd
Wow.
absolutely love it if someone would donate
That would be a nightmare phone bill.
£70,700. But yeah,
Yeah, that would be just a bit of a phone bill.
indeed.
That's actually £70,070. That would be.
Yes, you're
I
right.
just didn't want
because
to confuse
I
anyone
can't-
over what the number was.
I can't add things up. Clearly.
Just
You mean
seeing
read things
numbers.
out?
So,
Yes. Well, we've already had a donation in. So thanks.
thank you.
From
amazing.
Michi, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. So yeah, keep them coming with the link that we have told you.
Oh, that is absolutely wonderful. Thank you so much to you for donating, and thanks to everyone in the chat room for messages of support. I have seen messages such as "cycle harder" and "stop slacking."
Excellent.
Alex, Matty, how do you feel about that?
I don't know. It's not quite as motivational as we like, but it's a start.
All right, what's so there's been a lot of chat room flying past you there. Has anyone stood out to you? Any messages that have made you smile?
We're not sure. It's sort of when people keep leaving and coming back.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is true.
Quite
People
indecisive.
stop leaving the chat room. We shall release the bees behind you now.
That's
it's just come
motivational.
into the chat room. Okay,
Excellent.
cycle faster. No, please don't. You're doing a great job down there. So to celebrate getting a donation in and making sure that we're pushing ahead, so let's play a song. Matty, what song would you like us to play for you? We've played a request for Alex. What can we do for you?
Aces High by Iron Maiden would be great.
Now I have cycled to this song before. I do cycle. Thank you. Just not during the show because I'd be out of breath. I mean, can you hear that? It's just like.
Yeah.
You're listening to. Oh wait, what was it again? Oh, the Geekly Chronicles, and you'll get it in the end.
Joining us now on the show is a voice that at least 90% of our listeners will recognise. She's an award-winning actress, voice artist, and writer who's been in blockbuster movies, critically acclaimed television shows, and even voiced one of the Sims in a popular video game franchise. Voice of Adventure Time's Princess Bubblegum, Hyndon Walsh. Welcome to the show.
Hey guys, how you doing?
Oh, very good. How are you doing today?
Oh, great.
Fantastic. It's really great to have you on the show. Thank you for joining us.
Oh, thanks for having me.
You're most famous right now for your role in Adventure Time, but you're not just everyone's favourite princess. Over the last 30 years, you've had roles from the big screen and small screen, and we mentioned in the intro, voicing video game characters. I've been the voice of a video game character once, but you seem to have done the one thing that I always wanted to do and been the voice of a sim person.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that was a lifelong goal of yours. It's really crazy. It's a crazy, crazy couple of days of recording.
Did you have to learn the actual language?
Well, when they had auditions, they kind of had us come in and do it, like play the most heartbreaking scene imaginable in made-up gibberish, Simlish. Jessica DeChico and I, who are good friends, and she also plays Flame Princess on Adventure Time, but we are Child A and Child B for The Sims, and we started at Sims 4, and then it's just kind of continued on. So I'm the sweet child, and she's the mischievous child, and how that day goes is you're literally in a windowless room speaking nonsense.
Which is very much like how any game of me playing The Sims goes, in fairness. So.
Oh, yeah, exactly. And we just go back and forth, and they usually want about 15 to 20 usable takes for the same animation. So you have to come up with different language, different feelings, different inflections every time you go through it. And we're looking at a screen of kind of bare bones skeleton of what the animation will look like in the game. And the screen goes 3, 2, 1. And then we start going, you have to believe. 3, 2, 1. Then Jessica will do something different. Then I'll do something. And we just go back and forth like 40 times.
Wow.
Until we have a lot of stuff we can use. That way, when you're playing the game, even if you're in a very similar situation, it always sounds fresh and new and different. It's not like there's just oh, it's that one thing we heard them do already. So it's really cool how they've developed this game and made an entire language, an entire, universe out of it. And we get to record in San Francisco, which is different and fun.
Now, there are countless famous monologues from Macbeth and big, huge playwrights. Are there any particular monologues or things that you said when recording for The Sims that have stuck with you?
Absolutely not. Not even one. I couldn't tell you even one thing. Because it's all, we have they give us lists of words. So in case you're just totally having a brain freeze, you can go, oh, right, I can say this word and throw it in, and then it becomes more organic again. But no, I have no memory. But while we're talking about video games, I gotta say this video game strike of Screen Actors Guild, performance matters. And it's still going on, even though it hasn't been in the news very much. So please support your Screen Actors Guild actors and know that, it really is important to have good quality performance in a game because you spend a lot of time with them, right?
I remember reading that it's become as big as or bigger than the movie industry. It's very story-led. There's a lot of acting and orchestration that goes into it. And video games are huge, right?
Huge, yes. And what we're asking for as the Actors Union is so tiny. We are asking for things like, we need you to tell us what game we're working on when we're cast. Can you believe that?
That would seem like a no-brainer, right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, for me to do the best job I can do acting, I need to know what I'm playing, I need to have the slightest idea what character I'm playing and in what thing. And we're not going to go blathering it all over the place. We're professionals. So things like that, things like if you're screaming bloody murder for hours on end, a human voice cannot sustain that. There's just no way. And people who make video games seem to not understand that. So this is for making sessions shorter, having somebody on the set that's there to look after our physical health the same way they do in movies with stunt people.
That sounds really important.
So, yeah, like I said, it's really not that much to ask, but it's still going on. So I just wanted to make your listeners aware.
Speaking of movies, you just mentioned there, reminded me that I really love the film Groundhog Day. I sort of end up watching it every year. You were in that, right?
Yay.
As the woman having second thoughts on her wedding day. What was it like to be part of a movie that's now referenced so much?
Well, Groundhog Day is an amazing film, and I knew it would be an amazing film since I read the script. This was my first big movie. I got my SAG card doing this movie when I lived in Chicago. But yeah, it was an amazing experience. What I learned since then, having done other films, is with Groundhog Day, every scene is exactly the same, of course, with tiny variation. But when you're making a movie and you're doing coverage, you're shooting coverage, you're doing the same thing all day, every day, exactly the same for each scene, and then you move on and it's a different scene. But in Groundhog Day, every scene was the same scene. So the level of repetition just was unbelievable. But yeah, I think that movie is amazing, absolutely amazing. In the first draft of the script, it was really Buddhist, that he was stuck on that one day for 10,000 years.
Wow,
and that's how long it took him to become a good person. But yeah, isn't that an amazing film?
Yeah, I've read articles trying to count the number of days that he actually experiences and things, but yeah, I don't know if anyone's actually come up with an answer.
Yeah, 10,000 was the original intent.
Now, I really love the film Groundhog Day and watch it every year. You were in that, right? Oh, no, sorry. Deja vu.
Deja vu, yes, I was.
So, let's go back to voice acting. What first got you into it?
Well, all acting is acting. All acting is acting. There's no difference between if you're on stage or doing a movie or doing a VO animation video game. It's all just acting. I had started in theater since I was a kid. I've been doing theater and I did Broadway and stuff. And then I did movies and television, and I kept hearing about animation, but I always lived in the wrong city because really it's all done in Los Angeles. And I'm from Chicago, and then I lived in New York. And so it wasn't until I moved to LA that I was like, I think I would really like to do this because how fun does this sound? It sounded impossibly fun to me, and I was right. So, yeah, I had a big resume going in, and then I got an agent, and then I had to audition for a long time because that's a really tight-knit group of people that do all the animation acting. But then I got my first show, which was Chalkstone on Nickelodeon, and I think a little bit before that I got the MGM movies. They cast me as the lead in Secret of Nim 2 and Tom Sawyer. So I just started doing it and never stopped. It really is it is my place I want to be, 100%.
Oh, that's awesome. And it's funny you mentioned the Secret of Nim too. I loved those books when I was at school. It was one of the things that I had to read doing English. So I have fond memories of those.
Oh, cool.
When it comes to acting along to animation, and this is something that I've always been curious about, do you talk along with the animation, or does the animator have to make the character move in time with the words? I guess it's kind of a what comes first, the animation or the voice sort of question.
Okay, that's a great question. How it goes in original cartoons, which is my favorite place to be, like Adventure Time or Teen Titans Go, or, they animate to us. So the script comes first, and then we record the script, and then they draw it. So there's, as you can see, an amazing amount of freedom to be an actor in an original piece of animation. Because, you have a lot of say in how it comes out. For anime was recorded the first time in another language, usually Japanese, and then it's just called dubbing when it comes to doing an English track for it. And all the rules are different. You're doing ADR, which is automatic dialogue recording, which means, yes, you are trying to jam a bunch of English words that weren't there in the first place into some Japanese words, lip flaps, which is why sometimes it sounds very awkward. But yeah, there's a whole art to doing that too, but that's the case of when the animation comes first. Or occasionally I'll do pickups on original animations where I'm matching myself, or they want to add another line, and so they'll play me what I did going into it, and then there'll be 3 beats, and then you have to match it to your own character and your own voice. So that comes up sometimes. But mostly with original animation, it's just like I get to do an original play reading with the best people in the world, because we usually all record together.
Oh, that sounds like an amazing experience. And thinking of you all being with people together, what is it like working with the cast of Adventure Time? And I'd love to know, are you and Marceline actually besties in real life?
Well, I mean, Adventure Time is such a phenomenon. Gosh, what an amazing show. I would watch it if I weren't on it. I am a huge fan of the show just as it is, and it's just kind of a bonus that I happen to be in it. The cast is like the Beatles. I mean, seriously, we were just in Australia doing Adventure Time Live, where we did table reads of a few episodes. We did question and answer. We did stuff like that in these big theaters in Australia. And, I mean, it was just crazy, the love for the show there. Felt very, very fancy being in that environment. Marceline is played by the wonderful Olivia Olson. But honestly, if you look back at all the shows, we haven't really done that many together over the course of all the seasons. And it was really in the last season or so that they decided to bring us together some more, almost literally in response to the fan reaction to Marcy and Bonnabelle. Isn't that fun that the writers listen to the fans now? It's like, oh yeah, that's a good idea. Let's do more of that.
That is amazing.
That is lovely.
Yeah, so I don't really know Olivia that well because we never really recorded together. But you will be happy to know that Flame Princess and PB are in real life very good friends.
I'm really pleased about that. I think you alluded there to just what an amazing show Adventure Time is and the fan reaction and everything. I think a lot of people that haven't seen it take one look at it and think it must be childish. But when you first got the scripts, did you see it for the artistically brilliant thing it was going to be? Or was it a bit more sunshine and rainicorns?
Oh, no, I knew. I knew this was brilliant from the beginning. And it existed as a pilot short on YouTube way before it was picked up as a series. I don't know if you knew this, but Nickelodeon turned it down.
Oh, wow.
I know. What were they thinking? So the only original cast member from the short was John DiMaggio as Jake the dog. But even Finn, who was then called Penn, was played by Jeremy Shada's older brother, Zach. So that's kind of fun. But then he grew up. Anyway, I think it was Abraham Lincoln on Mars was kind of what was going on in the show, and I just got the humor so completely, and I'm like, oh man, this is going to be huge. This is going to be huge. And so I got the audition for Princess Bubblegum, and I'm like, man, of everything I'm auditioning for, I want this one. This is the one I want.
Oh, brilliant. Was there anything in particular that you did to kind of get into that bubblegum mindset?
Well, I went in and I picked up the sides, which are the scene they give you to read for the audition. And, I mean, nothing existed. There was nothing to read, look at, or see except this one scene. That's kind of the fun of my job is we go in and we have to create something given very, very little to go on. Like sometimes you'll get a sketch of a face and go, okay, we want this. And you have to somehow divine psychically what you think it is and then have every creator, writer, producer, and executive agree that that thing you came up with is what it is. You can see how hard this is. So I just went in for bubblegum and kind of lost my mind. Let me show them I get the humor. Let me show them I get this.
Oh, that's incredible. And while we're still on Adventure Time, is there a particular episode or scene that has stuck out to you in your heart as a real favorite?
There's so many. I love it when they get really big, when the stories are just these massive 1,000-year-old tales of post-apocalyptic,
me too.
Nightmare world. And it's just like, when you think of the show as every minute of the show is a response to that, it's really powerful and childish, not for a minute. And the credit goes to Pendleton Ward and to the writers and to the network that let them do what they wanted to do, because the Adventure Time doesn't exist because some guys were sitting around in a room going, how do we really appeal to 6 to 10-year-olds? They're going, hey, wouldn't it be cool if we did this? Oh, wouldn't it be cool if we did that? And they just followed that. That's
awesome.
Why it's so great. Yeah.
Yeah, and as much as I know that Adventure Time appeals to 6 to 10-year-olds, it certainly appeals to, 20 to 80-year-olds too.
Exactly. I couldn't agree more.
I feel no shame in saying, no, I'm not coming out tonight. I am watching Adventure Time.
Yay!
Now, going back in time a little bit, in 1994, you won an award for appearing in one of my personal favourite musical plays, The Rise and Fall of Little Voice, well before it became a hit UK film starring Jane Horrocks. You also starred on the stage quite a lot, as you said earlier, before you hit the screen. Do you do much with your love of theatre now, or are you really at home with the animation stuff?
Well, first, I think it's amazing that Little Voice is one of your favorite plays. Way to go. Good taste.
Thank you.
Good part right. Excellent writer there. I won the Outer Critics Circle Award for Outstanding Debut of an Actress. So it was my first Broadway show. Theater was something kind of my past. I loved it. Hard when I was doing it. And then it's crazy, but I just sort of grew into something else. was sort of like, okay, I did that. That was great. I loved it. And now I want to do this other thing. So I just kind of switched, just kind of shifted over. I kind of lost interest in being looked at, honestly. More fun to be heard.
Well, as someone on the radio, I can definitely relate to that.
Yes. See, you know what I mean.
Of all your roles or the characters that you've brought to life, is there one that stands out as your favourite? And why is that?
No, they're all, I know everyone hates this answer, but they're literally all me. I couldn't do them otherwise. So, like, someone really dark like Harley Quinn, that's me. Someone really light and bright like Starfire, that's me. You know, the only one that matters is the one I'm doing at that moment.
If you could play anyone, real or fictional, is there somebody special that you'd love to bring to life?
Well, I don't really think like that since I don't have control over the kind of things that are going to be produced.
Yeah.
So I'm more about just keep it very loose and stay open to whatever comes to me as far as ideas for what's presented to me. And believe me, everyone you know in animation has to audition for stuff every day. We do this every day. And does it get old? Yes, it does. It's very old. No matter how many things you've been on, it's really rare that someone says, oh, let's just give them the part of the 9-year-old otter. Because instead they go, wait, let's hear what they're going to do with it.
I'm sure we've got some young and aspiring artists and actors and creative types listening. Do you have any advice for them?
Yes, creators first. If you don't create it, it will never exist. So create it. And don't you feel better once you've created something? Let it out. That's my advice for you guys. Then actors, remember, there is no such thing as shooting to be a voice actor. No matter how popular animation has become, you still don't shoot for that. You have to have so much else going on. You've got to be an incredible actor in your own right, and you have to combine that with maybe being a brilliant artist at the same time. You know, make your own films to be in on YouTube. Development people are watching YouTube every day, believe me. But you need a resume. You need to join the unions. You need an agent to get in the door, and you need a lot of experience to get an agent. It's that catch-22 thing, but we've all overcome it, and I know you will too.
Where can fans come and see you next? Are you at any conventions coming up?
I am so glad you asked. Thank you. Yes, I am getting ready. I am coming to Europe. I am coming your way.
Yay.
I will be in Hanover, Germany on May 20th and 21st, right around the corner. Come on over to Hanover. I have no idea if anyone will know me there, so it will be exciting. Okay. And then I am coming to MCM London Comic-Con, and I will be there on May 26th and May 27th. And if you come, the super exciting part is everybody who comes gets one free autograph from me. Wait, are you coming? Will I get to meet you?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, excellent. Okay, good.
If fans want to tweet at you and find you online, how can they do that?
See me on Twitter. My handle is HindenIsHere. So, yeah, follow me on Twitter. That'd be great.
Last but not least, we ask all of our guests to pick a song for us to play. What would you like us to play this evening?
I would like you to play It's All Too Much by the Beatles.
Lovely. We'll play that for you now. Thank you so much for coming on the show
Thank
and
you.
sharing everything with our listeners.
Thank you, guys. It was really fun.
And we look forward to seeing you in London.
Woohoo! Yay! See you.
You're listening to the Geekly Chronicles. It's like Ask Jeeves, but 3 times as smart.
How cool is Hinden Walsh?
I know.
So pleased that she was able to join us. Thank you so much, Hinden, for being on the show. I learned just a ton from that interview.
It's absolutely brilliant.
Absolute ton.
Don't forget to tell us if you would fund Josh's idea of Cleany Crawlies. You can vote to fund or not fund on Twitter at GKLYCO, on our website at gkly.co/fundit, or via the app on iOS.
Would you fund it?
Maybe. I don't know.
I really like this one.
Yeah.
But we should probably check in after that long stretch of interview with our cyclists downstairs. I wonder how far they've managed to travel. So Oh, there's not. The breathing is almost better now. I think that maybe they've hit their stride. I'm hearing now. Ah.
Hi.
How are you doing?
We are tired.
Hello.
I can imagine. We are what? So it's just about 21 minutes past 8 now. So what does that put us? We've had the bulk of it's over. You're on the home
Done
stretch.
2/3.
Yeah.
How are the pedals turning down there in Geekly's Green Power Generation Centre?
Slower than they were half an hour ago.
Yep.
Have you? Yeah. So I mean, I did neglect to tell you at the start that your cycling was powering the show tonight. So.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, the lights in here are getting a bit dim, so, pick it up a bit.
We do a little burst.
Yeah. So how far have you got?
I've got 32 kilometres.
Wow, that's impressive.
Nice.
It's
30.
amazing that we can still pick them up on the mics, really.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's not how it works, Catherine.
Okay.
They've not moved. Matty, how about you?
34.
Ooh.
Well, so you have made it quite a way. So if you were actually cycling in real terms, that would be quite well.
Yeah, I looked about the triathlon, and that was 40 kilometres.
Oh wow! So
So,
you'll
yeah.
have done a triathlon's worth of cycling, which means that next week we'll have you back to do a triathlon's worth of swimming, and then the week after that we'll have you back to do a triathlon's worth of running, and we'll see how you fare.
Excellent. Love that idea.
Great. Can we sign you up for that now? Commitment live on air for the listeners?
I'll get back to you on that one.
Okay.
We'll
Yeah.
have to investigate waterproof microphones as well.
Yes.
I'm sure they
and you
exist.
guys will have to practice talking underwater.
I mean, these are just details. We can work them out.
How are you? How has the show been for you? Have we been playing jumping enough tunes for you to be pacing yourself to?
It's been all right, yeah.
Well, that's good.
What did you? Thanks, eloquent there, Alex. Very eloquent. What do you think of the interview with Hyndman Walsh just then?
That was cool. She's I think someone said it on the chat. She is just as bubbly in real life.
Yes, yeah, it's she was very cool.
Yeah,
yeah.
really hoping to get to MCM next Friday. So
Yes, and so
actually,
should all of
real,
you. Yes.
real
Yeah.
life.
Real life, yes. We'll try and selfie with the radio people and the voice person that you never normally see any of our faces, but we'll give it a go.
Yeah. Let's hope that face for radio thing isn't as true as everyone says it is.
Yeah, so we have had a few requests in actually to try and help beef up your cycling down there.
Excellent.
Interesting.
We've had Breakfast at Tiffany's by the Deep Blue Something's been
yes,
requested.
Yes, please.
Yeah, you like that one?
It's a good song.
We've had Bicycle Race by Queen.
Definitely.
Yeah. All This Time by Jonathan Colton. We've had requested. The Internet Is Here by Dan and Phil.
Lukewarm response to that. I think.
Lukewarm response.
Yes.
No, you wouldn't know it if you were born before like 2005, I guess.
Okay.
I suppose not.
Maybe. Right, well, we will leave you to carry on cycling, and what it sounds like is munching on some kind of confectionery.
Yep.
Smarties.
Smart.
Nice.
Wow.
Nice, good sugary
Excellent.
fuel.
Yes. We'll leave you to that. We'll play you another request just shortly, but don't forget why we're doing this cycle.
Yeah, support our dedicated cycling duo by donating to the WWF via our Just Giving page at gkly.co/WWF. I can see we've had a couple of donations, which is fantastic.
That
Thank
is
you very
very
much.
good. Thank you very much. Of
Thank
course,
you to everyone who's given.
Do remember that we're doing this throughout the series. That's not the purpose of the show. We're here to entertain you. You do not have to donate to listen.
No.
But if you can,
It's very nice.
Yes, please just
WWF are doing some amazing work.
we have had some fantastic requests through from people. I mean, just looking through this list, Misty always requests things I've never heard of, and this is this looks like a nice one. We'll perhaps play that in a bit. Do love the Jonathan Colton song, but I think that I think you know which one I'm going to have to go for. Just because we've got our cyclists downstairs.
Yeah.
Can you tell which one it's going to be?
Probably.
You're listening to the Geekly Chronicles. It's like a your mum joke, except your mum is lovely and we won't hear a word said against her.
Really, how we didn't think of that song before is beyond me. But.
Yeah, a little bit.
Right. We've had a lovely tweet from Cannibag on Twitter. Apparently, our show goes well with red wine and kebabs.
Wow. That's quite impressive.
I'll
can't
note
imagine.
that serving suggestion down.
It's like, I mean, that's kind of like in my, when I think about it logically, that's probably some, really well coated kebabs on the metal skewers done in the oven or over a barbecue or something. But in my head, I first went to a big, like, dirty, greasy
From a
Doner.
van on the
kebab
side
in
of a
a doner
road.
from It's like I could just imagine the people listening to the show just drinking the red wine out of the bottle with a big greasy kebab.
When really it's probably, a very sort of
Very civilized affair.
Very
Classy
civilised.
sort of deal.
classy
Yeah.
home cooked affair.
Well,
Oh dear.
at any rate,
Yes.
thank you. And moving
Yes.
swiftly on.
Thanks for getting in touch.
And now, Kez and Catherine go head to head. It's Game of Geeks.
Wow.
Blimey, it is time for the feared return of Game of Geeks.
I'm not scared. I fully intend to remain triumphant in Series 6.
Bring it on. Not if I have anything to do with it. Shush now. just be quiet.
Well,
I am going to out-quiz you so hard, even Sandy Toxvig wouldn't recognise you.
I'm not entirely sure she recognises me now.
See how easy that was?
jeez. You can't see me, listeners, but I'm shaking my head. Anyway, this series, Game of Geeks, is a bit different. For those of you who haven't listened before, Game of Geeks is our little quiz where I pit Kez and Catherine against each other to answer some pop culture-y sort of questions. But I've changed it up this time. Ultimately, we're going for a series winner, and last time it was Catherine.
Woohoo!
Much to my horror.
Indeed.
Go me.
So we'll see if Kez can claw back some points with our new format.
Dignity. Claw back some dignity.
Dignity, yes, that's what we're going for here. I'm still asking the questions because that went so well last time. But now I've switched up the rounds. There'll be some of what you're used to, but I've chucked in some newer questions which celebrate the wonders of the internet.
Oh, dear.
Particularly its more sort of niche corners.
Oh, Catherine's going to win this. I have a real job.
Know about all the niche corners.
I don't spend my time on
do.
Tumblr all day.
Absolutely.
You don't spend time on Tumblr during the day.
Not
I sleep.
not when you can be not when
Not when
you
you
can
can be
observed.
scrolling in bed.
Yeah, fair enough.
Brilliant. And of course, we're going to need buzzers. So this time, Kez goes.
Ah, with the cycling theme, I see.
Yes, and Catherine goes.
Oh.
Bell and horn.
For those that haven't
Bell and
seen our
Horn, private
tweets-
investigators.
From those who haven't seen our tweets or anything from inside the studio before, we do actually have these big illuminated green buttons that we whack,
Yes.
which is very cool.
Quite exciting, isn't it? Okay.
Shall we move on to the
You
actual
can tell we
quiz?
haven't done this for a while.
Oh,
We're
Yes,
excited.
they're enjoying this.
buttons. Yeah.
Okay, stop pressing the buttons for a moment as we move into the actual game. That's not even a, like... I don't,
Sorry, it's just a button that I have.
Not even a Game of Geeks button.
It's
All right.
just a button, right.
Okay.
So, the first round is one of our old favourites, the music round.
Okay.
So I'm going to play you 4 clips of songs, and I want you to tell me what the connection is between all 4. There
All right.
are 4
Oh,
points
no.
if you get it on the first one, 3 on the second, 2 on the third, and just 1
I'm
if you get it
convinced that our
on the
listeners are
fourth.
better at this than we are.
They are.
Right.
I forgot my notebook. I feel a bit lost at sea. I usually make notes.
You have
You
a
do.
computer
You
in
do
front
write
of you.
stuff down a lot in Game of Geeks.
Yeah, but that's like noisy typing and stuff.
Right. Okay.
So
come on.
anyway, fingers on buzzers and try and tell me the connection between these 4 clues. Here's round number 1.
Okay. Okay. All right.
No one hazarding a guess on the first clue.
Well, I kind of want to get more than one in before. I mean, this is a very long clip.
And I wonder if you know how it really feels to be left outside alone when it's cold out here. Well, maybe you should know just how it feels to be left outside alone, to be left outside alone. I tell you all my life I've been waiting for you to bring up theory.
Kaz is going for a guess.
Fictional fairy tale places.
Fictional fairy tale places is a good guess, but unfortunately not the answer I was looking for.
Okay.
So for a possible 2 points, here's clue number 3.
Do you know what it feels like?
Kez?
Feeling stuff.
Feeling stuff. If the answer was feeling stuff, I literally could have played any 4 songs that have ever been released.
What? Singing about feeling stuff. I'm determined.
Yeah, again,
Singing
any 4
about
songs.
feeling stuff.
Fine,
Oh, dear.
Fine.
Okay, for a possible 1 point, here's clue number 4.
Do you know where you're going to?
Kez.
Traveling or moving or something like that.
It's even simpler than that.
Uh,
In every one of these songs, we hear the lyrics, "Do you know?" The singer is asking whether or not the
You
other
know.
person knows something. Do
Right.
you know what that's worth? Ooh, heaven is a place on earth. Do you know what it feels like to be left outside alone? That's not the lyrics, but roughly. And the other two, Do You Know by Enrique Iglesias and Do You Know Where You're Going To by Diana Ross.
clearly I didn't.
No,
Clearly not.
All right.
that
No points in
entirely
the first
passes by.
round.
Wow, okay.
Okay.
I'd be interested to see if another listener's got that one.
All right. Yeah, let us know in the chat room. We've got some yelling going on for Kiev Pizza Biscuit. Got
Just
that
yelled,
one.
do you know?
Do you know?
Okay, next
okay,
one.
next one. This is the last of the music questions this week. We've got some more rounds coming up. So
Okay.
for 4 points, here's clue number 1. Catherine.
Quiz show theme tunes.
No. Good guess. No. So for 3 points, here's clue number 2. Kez,
Things that have been on Channel 4.
can you be more specific? Not
Television
no.
programs
Sorry,
that have been
no,
on Channel
that's-
4.
Only connects not on Channel 4. So
Oh, fine then.
so no. That's not really the answer. I wondered if you could get it. Catherine.
Theme tunes for TV shows that have moved channel.
Oh, nice. Coming in
Because
after
Only
2
Connect
clues.
was on BBC 3 and now it's...
It was on BBC 4 and then it
now
moved to BBC 2.
Okay, yeah, and Big Brother moved from Channel 4 to Channel 5.
It did indeed. Other theme tunes we would have heard included.
Oh, yeah.
Moved from the BBC to Channel 5.
And then to Insignificance.
Yes. And finally,
Yes, well, of course.
Yeah.
a sore subject for us all.
Yeah.
Bake Off moving to Channel 4 from
I
the
miss you,
BBC.
Mary.
So at the end of round 1.
Oh, you know, no.
I'm actually-
Ignore me.
Okay. Yeah. At the end of round 1, Catherine is in the lead with 3 points.
Curses.
Now,
I'm doing my little
yeah,
Victory
little
dance there in the
Well,
studio.
it's not a full-on victory dance because, you know, I'm not victorious yet.
Yeah. So we'll
Shall we
move
move on
on
then?
to
Yeah.
round number 2. And round 2 is a brand new round to Game of Geeks
Uh-oh.
and explores what happens when we as a species all come together to share our knowledge. Did you know, for example, that individuals born under the sign of Gemini are often flammable and vulnerable to bear attacks? There's a possibility that may be untrue, but it's a wonder what happens when anyone can share knowledge and edit it and put it on the internet.
Oh, is this something to do with Wikipedia?
Yeah. Well, it's not quite something to do with Wikipedia. This round involves Kez and Catherine guessing what I'm trying to do when I read out some steps from the website that starts its guide on how to plan a wedding in 6 months with a large section entitled Mentally Prepare Yourself. This is the round that I'm calling Wiki How About That.
Okay.
Right. Okay.
So
you read out
I'm
the
going to read out
WikiHow
some steps.
And we've got to guess what it is
What
you're
it
trying
is
to
you're
do.
doing.
Yes, I'm going to give you 2 points if you absolutely nail it, and 1 point if you're in the general sort of area.
Okay,
Ballpark.
right.
Okay,
Bring it on.
So
Bring it
there's
on.
just one between you, and the steps are: make a lemon juice rinse, rub the skin with raw potato, make a turmeric paste, use pure aloe vera.
Is
Yeah.
this like a homeopathic treatment for acne?
I'm going to give you a point for that. The step I didn't get to read out was rinse the skin with green coconut water. And the title of the guide is How to Get Fair Skin Naturally.
Ah, well.
So, yeah.
I thought that was
I
a
mean,
2-pointer,
that's-
really, but you know.
That's a reasonable... I mean, it wasn't quite... I mean, yeah. I'll give you 1.5 points. Because it's my post-it and I can do what I want.
Yeah, that is fair enough.
Right. So,
Question Master's decisions are final.
Yes,
indeed.
indeed.
So that's the end of the brief round 2, and now we move on to the wild card round,
Oh dear.
which is my favourite because this is one.
Just how wild are these cards?
Well, this is the round that I'm having a little bit of fun with, and this week we're playing a game called IKEA or Death.
Okay.
Right, okay.
Yes.
Not quite
Can
sure.
I choose
how that
IKEA
works.
now?
The concept.
I would definitely choose IKEA over Death.
The concept is simple and comes from the website IKEAOrDeath.com. I'm going to read you a bunch of weird names. I'm also going to show them to you. And you have to guess whether they are IKEA products or black metal bands.
Ah.
Ooh,
First
okay.
person, there are 6 of these. First person to buzz and get it right gets the point. So, fingers on buzzers. Your first clue is Absu. Kez
Metal band.
is the right answer. They're an extreme metal band from Dallas, Texas.
Excellent.
Next clue, Bastig.
You got a ring first.
Lots of things happened all at the same time
There
there.
was definitely a bit of a ring before the horn.
That's a weird sentence. Go on, Kez.
I was going to say IKEA.
Would be the right answer. It is a nickel-plated drawer handle.
Yes, I thought so.
So there you go. Next clue, Samsplet. Catherine,
Why is your buzzer not working?
press it again. Try it again. There you
There
go.
you go.
Catherine,
See, I was nice
I'm going to go with IKEA.
Samsplet is an IKEA product. It is a deer-shaped room decoration. Well done.
Well, of course it is.
You're doing quite well at this. Next clue, Clubbo. Kez
IKEA product.
is the right answer. That is a coffee table.
Of course. Well, of course.
Yes. I mean, it's obvious when you think about it.
Oh, yes. I quite often sit in my living room and put my feet up on my clubbo.
Next clue, Einherjar.
I'm going with metal band.
Is the right answer.
Yes.
It's a Viking metal band named for the warriors who sit at Odin's table in Valhalla. And finally, Naught. Kez
IKEA product.
is the wrong answer, I'm afraid.
Oh.
They're a metal band. It's a one-man band that plays, and I quote from the band's Wikipedia page, pure depressive black funeral doom metal.
That's quite a genre.
Wow.
Indeed. But that brings us to the end of Game of Geeks, and I can say with a 0.5 point lead, this week's winner, well, Hattie, take it away.
You're kidding me.
This week's winner is... Catherine.
I am so not cool with this.
I can do my full-on victory dance now.
Yeah, but it was so close though. I did so much better on this round than I did on any last series.
Yes.
But I still
But it
lost.
still wasn't good enough, was it?
So
Indeed.
unfair.
Just looking back over the chat room, we've had some good guesses from the music
Yeah,
round.
we're allowed back in there now.
Yes, you can look now. Well done, Pink Fuzzy Sheep, on going for reality TV. That was a good guess for the theme tunes one. And apparently, I need to work on my Swedish because none of those were pronounced the way they were supposed to be. But yeah,
Well, luckily we could see them too.
yes, you had
And,
them written down.
We don't need any. We
Yes,
don't know
but
any
for,
Swedish either.
for those of you that are trying to request pure depressive black funeral doom metal, no, we will not be playing that. Presenter's prerogative. I'm putting
Yes.
my foot down, I'm afraid.
Excellent.
Unless it's
Well done,
jaunty,
Catherine.
it's not getting played.
We do like a good jaunty tune here.
Indeed. Yeah, well done, Catherine, on your first Game of Geeks victory of the new series.
Thank you very much.
I'm grimacing, but I will let you have that.
You're listening to the Geekly Chronicles. We'd do anything for our listeners, but not that. Never that. Well, Catherine might.
Oh, I've forgotten that jingle went on a little longer. You mightn't you?
Well, you never know.
I
Play
wonder.
your cards right.
Yeah,
Let's move on for it before we say something we'll all regret.
quite.
So we've had a pretty good show so far, but we've still got some cyclists downstairs.
We do.
Peddling away.
Let's see if they're still awake. We'll just.
Give them a bit of.
That ought to wake them up. Hello, cyclists.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you both doing? You've been at it for an hour and 47 minutes.
Ooh.
Little tired.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, you feel like you've earned your pizza now, yeah?
Yeah, definitely.
Good. Well, I look forward to our pizza party imminently.
How's the distance going?
Yeah.
40.8.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Oh,
You've crossed the
triathlon
triathlon
accomplished.
line. Fantastic.
I'm on 39.3.
Oh, really slowing behind there, lagging behind.
By such a huge margin.
Yes. How dare you?
Oh,
I do apologise.
1.5.
Honestly, if I've not,
think it's-
not
it's-
paying for this food when it arrives.
It's really cool how you've kind of matched each other.
You've kept pace. Yeah, I'm really impressed. Have you been? Has it been friendly banter down there, or are you just like spitting insults at each other to try and?
Well, he's only swung at me a few times.
Glad we put
Excellent.
the exercise bikes slightly apart from each
Yeah.
other there.
Yeah, like just out of arm's reach.
Oh, good. That is good.
Yeah.
How were you? How did you find Game of Geeks? Were you? Did you get the questions before we did?
Actually, I got the quiz show, or the TV shows that have moved channels. I got that after the second one.
Cool.
I didn't. I was too exhausted to think.
Excellent.
Good to think.
I
Yeah,
have definitely
me
been
too.
there. That's why I ask the questions now instead of answer them.
Yeah, that is true. So we have had. We're gonna play one last request from our lovely request queue. So let me give you both some options and see what last song you kind of want to round your cycle off with. We've had All This Time by Jonathan Colton, requested by Mitch Apej. Hey Mama by the Sunstroke Project from Kiev Pizza Biscuit. We've had Breakfast at Tiffany's by Deep Blue Something, requested by Alyssa. Any of those drop out? I mean, someone has also requested Pure Depressive Black Funeral Doom Metal, but I'm not playing it.
Oh, okay.
Oh, well. If we can't have doom metal, then I think Breakfast at Tiffany's.
Yeah.
All right, we'll play that
Fair
for you in a bit.
I think that's an excellent choice.
A reasonable compromise.
Yes.
Yeah, they're close enough, aren't they?
Well, we'll pop back down to you in a few minutes just to see what the final total is before the show finishes. But have we had any other tweets? Any other interesting emoji middle names?
Well, Elaine tweeted us earlier to tell us that her emoji middle name is one of two emoji just because of their descriptions. So I'm going to read the emoji descriptions. We
Go for
have
it.
got diamond shape with a dot inside or man in business suit levitating. That is one of the best emojis.
That is
to be
middle
fair.
name goals.
It's the Geekly Chronicles.
Now, there is a question that has been haunting us all show.
There has indeed. There is indeed. I'm not sure how the tense works.
Tenses.
But
Tenses.
it is time to find out whether our listeners would fund Cleany Crawlies.
So now this was a Would You Fund It submitted by Josh, one of our listeners.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the survey, let's see what it says. What does it say?
It
Drum
says
roll.
yes.
Oh!
Woo!
Congratulations.
Cleany Crawlies. You're just using that for everything, aren't you?
I've got a klaxon. I'm going to use it.
It's an
60
alarm, it's a klaxon, it's a celebration.
60% of our audience tonight voted to fund Cleany Crawlies. So,
Oh,
yay.
well done to Josh. And thank you for submitting the first listener suggestion for Would You Fund It? Very excited to see what comes next.
Yeah, we look forward to your suggestions.
Indeed, we do. You can submit your ideas via the Would You Fund It page, gkly.co/fundit, and let us know.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, let's pop back down in these last few minutes of the show and see how our cheerful charity cyclists have got on. The end's in sight. Does that make you happy?
Oh, bless.
It's almost
getting there.
the end. Yeah.
Yes, there's 3 minutes left on this show.
All right, so
dear.
let's have a final countdown. We'll tweet some pictures and Instagram some pictures. But what is the total?
44.3.
44.3 from you and Matty.
I'm on 44.2.
Oh wow,
Ooh, so close.
wow! But that's like
amazing.
over 80 kilometres that we've done in the show between the two of them. That is absolutely huge. Thank you so much for being a part of this. That is
Not
incredible.
over yet. We've still got 2 minutes.
2 minutes. We will
Yeah.
tweet out the final pictures.
I mean, if
Yeah.
you both get over 45, that's 90 kilometres. That's amazing.
That is,
Yes.
yeah, but in 2 minutes.
2 minutes.
That's gonna be a
pushing it.
lot, yeah.
Mm.
All right.
Yeah, no, let's
Well, we look
let's not
forward to
kill
coming
our
back down and
cyclists.
seeing you after the show.
Yes.
which will be very good. And that's, I can't believe it, really. Pop back down to them, actually. Congratulations, you guys, for doing that. That was...
Yeah.
How do you feel?
I think that says it all.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough.
Worn out.
Yeah, well, we won't go back down there just now then. We'll pop down for our pizza party.
Would you look at the time?
Yeah, people always say that to me on dates.
Is this a date?
I'm in a studio. There are microphones and headphones and two people I love in a totally platonic way. Yeah, this feels like a date.
Well, that's depressing.
So is the fact that it's time for us to say goodbye.
It has been an amazing show. A huge, huge thanks to our two charity cyclists, Alex and Matty.
Indeed, and everyone who has donated in support of them, and to our very special guest, Hynden Walsh. We'll be sure to say hi at Comic-Con next weekend.
How awesome was Hynden Walsh?
I know. Not to mention my complete victory in Game of Geeks, and the first in our listener-suggested Would You Fund It?
Yeah, you keep hold of that victory. It's not going to last forever. I've got my finger on my buzzer, ready to go for next week already.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, well.
To you too.
All right.
Well,
all right.
Well.
To you too.
Yes.
I wish I could make like armpit farts. Anyway.
On that
Great.
note. Oh, wow. We will be back for the next episode of the Geekly Chronicles on Friday, the 2nd of June, by which time I'll have released a book.
Ooh.
Wow. And on the show, we'll be talking with someone who cycled around Europe to raise awareness of mental health issues.
We'll have another exciting instalment of Game of Geeks and Would You Fund It?
And so much more. But until then, from me, Kez.
And from me, Catherine.
And from me, Skylar.
Goodbye!
Goodbye!
Thanks for listening. You've been listening to the Geekly Chronicles. Content was hastily Googled and tossed together with a light balsamic by Kestrel Guy and Skylar McDonald and Catherine Robinson, who are also your hosts for this evening's show. This episode's special guests were Hynden Walsh, Matty Lukebecker and Alex Phillips. The Geekly Chronicles is a Tiny Kettle production. Any reference to persons living or dead should not be taken as a party political endorsement. Vote cheese, vote pasta, but don't be lasagna.